States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda? All right. Has everybody reviewed the meeting minutes from the last meeting? If so, do I
Make a motion.
to approve? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Yep, Andy's abstaining. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Town administrator update. Welcome back, Marissa.
Thanks. I've been taking the last couple weeks to catch up on some things. We have a resolution and a proposal for the conveyance of town real estate that needs to be signed and posted for the sale of 50 Farrar Street to Sylvie Jouse. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but in the consideration of the sum of $18,500. So that needs to be posted in the St. Albans Messenger, which I've reached out and hopefully it will go in Friday. I haven't heard back, but I'm hoping. And then the legal voters have 30 days of the date of the posting to submit a petition if they don't want it to sell. And they have to have 5% of the voter signatures, so that will hopefully be posted Friday in the paper, and then I'll post it around town also on Friday. And then the resolution, I just need everybody to sign, so that basically says the same thing.
Okay.
You're authorizing the sale, and then it authorizes Wally to sign any documents pertaining to the sale to Sylvie.
Is St. Albans Messenger our only viable newspaper option now?
Yes.
And it's still on the books that we have to go through a newspaper, even though none really exist anymore.
On the resolution, there's a spot for each of you to sign and date. And then I have something for,
And we're only giving them a quick claim, not a warranty.
yes, quit claim deed, yes. And I did email the realtor, and she was reaching out to the buyer to make sure that it was okay to push the closing back. So they have until October 6th to submit the petition. Granted, it goes in the paper on the 5th of September.
Back to school, that's fine.
And then Wally and I had a conversation with the attorney regarding, I think that was brought up in open meeting with the housing
Yep.
ordinance. He's supposed to have something to us by the end of next week.
Have we ordered? Oh, what we talked.
What we had you, Kylie and I had the conversation with Brian about.
I don't know, we called, I was ready to push the issue hard, and apparently he was under the impression we were getting back to him with something. Is that something you remember?
No, he was supposed to look into the legalities of what we were asking.
Oh, he was under the impression, his notes said we were getting back to him with something. But we told him to move forward with revising our housing ordinances as a starting
I don't think we
point.
wanted the ordinance, we wanted to know what our legal authority is and like creating some sort of revenue stream. And
Well, he
And we
did say
did-
we can't tax rental properties, but
But
we
he
can,
did
we can
say-
generate,
yeah.
we can create fees.
Fees for a yearly inspection and fees for violating anything in the ordinance.
I don't know what they're gonna give us, but my biggest questions were concerning the enforcement. Because I don't think it's going to amount to anything if we have to go to court every time there's an issue with a property.
So you want to be able to start
We
to-
want to be able to put a lien on the property. If, there's a violation and a fine and they don't pay the fine, I want us to be able to record a lien on the property and have it be a lien that's gonna stay out there until it's paid.
So maybe, I would suggest maybe you call him
Or I can call him back
and express,
tomorrow
yeah.
with Kylie and.
I
we
just
can
knew
have
it
a
was on our, we
conversation.
had talked about it
Well, it was
and I asked,
kinda, too many, we'll clarify this, I
Yeah.
guess.
no, I just had asked Marissa if she'd had a chance, heard back from him, and I was like, all right, let's have a conversation, and apparently,
I emailed him last week asking him, cause I
But in
had
that-
a meeting with REAC tonight to
Yeah.
discuss some potential options, and he never got back.
I know, but I mean, it was from April, and we still hadn't heard anything, so I don't know if there was just a miscommunication, or what, but, so I would have a,
Push forward.
yeah, ask, follow up with him and say, we also wanna know about this, and he did give us a deadline of next, and I did stress no later than next Friday, so we could have it at our next meeting. So we'll see where it goes.
And hand out for everybody to review, so. That's all I have under update. I do have something that pertains to highway. Let me get to your highway report.
As long as speaking of properties, though, I'd like, with the board's approval, I'd like to have task Marissa with, researching and potentially leading us to the sale of more properties in town. I'd like to, and we've talked about it, Alan, the Corliss Road, and then we have that,
Yeah.
up past Blue Seal, past the brick house, up in that meadow, we have 2 acres that was, I don't know if it was a town gravel pit at one time, that has sat idle forever. I mean, there's trees this big in it, so I don't know if we would want to first explore whether we have any authority to sell it, and then move forward with potentially listing that as well. Is everybody fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll try to find we must have deeds.
The
Just
Corliss Road property, we had the whole issue
Yeah.
of,
We looked into that before, I
Didn't you
had
already
thought.
pull those deeds?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
already did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I brought all that stuff back.
Yeah, you did.
You have it.
I do have it.
in
It's in my file
researching the
cabinet.
deeds, there's no right of way to the property, it's landlocked. The surveyor was the one that came up with saying there's something somewhere, but nobody's been able to find it.
So that might be an attorney issue to see if there's, who's in the right. Otherwise, you're right, it's landlocked and we may have to,
So maybe in a better one.
well, we know somebody's interested in it, but, I think it would, if it's landlocked, there's one value. If it's not landlocked,
Right.
there's a much greater value.
I think the last time we were talking about this, weren't we talking about having our attorney come up and basically do a title search
And
and
I feel-
determine if we were gonna be able to sell that land?
I
Just-
thought we had reached out. Did we have a conversation? I feel like we might have had a conversation
I
with
wasn't
that.
involved, I just know you guys were working
We were
on it.
working on, I feel like we had a conversation, but I could be wrong. I'd
Well,
have to look back in my email
from
and
what-
see.
From my reading of the deed, it sounds like we've kept it long enough, way longer than it would need to. We have the authority, when it was given to the town, there was a time frame, and that's long past. But again, I think it's
The question
Is
always has been,
the right of way.
there's no right of way to it, and,
But I mean, there has to have been something, because otherwise, what value of it was it to the town then? I mean, the person gave it to the town, in some capacity to be of value to the town, I'm imagining.
well, the whole issue of it being an illegal lot because it's landlocked, I don't know, it may even be grandfathered, I don't know, I'm not a lawyer,
Yeah.
but, that, I think I was just starting as town clerk when that whole thing came about. So it's not a law that's been on the books for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think we got a lot of legal questions on that one.
So basically, we need to have a lawyer research the
Yeah.
property.
Yeah. So let's move forward with that too. I mean, anything we can do to, it's not so much about making money, but it's about getting them back on the tax rolls.
Yep.
So we'll start with those and we'll just keep knocking them off, one or two at a time as we can. Alrighty. Okay, so that brings it to me, highway.
Nope, you missed town
Town
clerk.
clerk.
Oh, sorry, town clerk. Well, you were
That's a
only,
new,
you
that's
were
a
only
new
on
line
there
item.
during her absence, so I didn't.
No,
We
I,
left her
I'm
on.
there.
We left
Huh?
her on.
I'm on there.
I know you're on there, but you weren't before.
She is now.
Yeah, you are now.
We're leaving it on there.
So, I don't know if I mentioned in the last meeting, working on the MERPS grant that we got.
Yep.
I did find a contractor to do the installation, it's just a matter of scheduling it, and they plan to do it this fall. The engineer finished the engineering for this building for the heating system. However, it is a little late in the game to put it out to bid. He reached out to a few contractors and they don't have time. So his suggestion is put it out to bid, December, the end of December, to get first on the list for spring. He also mentioned that we would need to have a chimney inspection here at the town hall, depending on what kind of system we were putting in. So Richie's been out here working and I asked him to take a look at the chimney, which he did. And it does look like we are gonna need some repair. The top 2 feet, of the chimney is like splitting and the brick is coming apart. And it looks like we could use a new liner, cause he's not even sure if there's one in there. So, I just need to find out what size liner from the engineer and then move forward with a quote from Richie. And he seems to think he could put us in the schedule for spring as well, so.
Does a liner matter depending on what your fuel is?
I think it depends on
like,
the
I mean,
heating system,
yeah,
and so it's probably.
What liner you get depends on whether it's oil, gas, or whatever else.
He did say it might be a little pricier just because of the height of the chimney, his lift only goes so high, depending on the size of the liner. He may need, extra, he can't just lift it himself, it might be heavy, so he might need something to do that, but we'll figure it out when we figure out the size of the liner. Your structures grant, I don't know if you had a chance to talk to Slim before he went on vacation, but it looks like the engineer for that project wants there to be some additional head walls, and so that looks like it might get pushed out to spring.
Like why this late in the game did they decide they want that? Like they've been playing around with this forever, and then all of a sudden they want at the proverbial 11th hour they want.
And well, they did say if you chose that is their suggestion. If we chose not to go that route, you would need to extend the culvert to make it a 90-foot culvert versus a 60-foot culvert. So either way you go. Jason thought that the grant itself will cover whatever it is we decide to do. He's not concerned about that piece. It's just a matter of time now, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. I know he did say about potentially getting pushed out.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess.
Oh, and the reimbursement for the spill is still, it's being submitted, I guess, this week.
Kylie, I have a question, backing up to the chimney. Is that something that the town's insurance would cover?
No.
I doubt it
No.
because it's
Wear
been
and
repair
tear.
maintenance.
Wear and tear.
Yeah.
Yep.
He said that the rest of the chimney looked good on the outside. It was just the top 2 feet on the outside and then the liner, so.
Yep.
Is that it?
I believe so.
You said you had something for personnel as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's on the agenda.
All right. All right, highway, entering the slow season, they got one more day, winter sand put up. Gonna go back to, I think Matt's gonna start doing some grading. They still have some chloride to put out, which to me seems late in the game, but as dry as it's been, I think it still needs to be done. Just, there's that. I do have a request, as everybody I'm sure has noticed, from Main Street to the Jolly did not get paved because. Stewart's, sorry, I'll get there eventually. Well, did not get paid because it was bid by the ton, and by the time they got to that was unfortunately left to last rather than first, and they had hit their budget. But the paving contractor is coming back to town to do the Dollar General parking lot. So, the estimate I think is 25 to 30 to do that section, so it's more than we budgeted, so I'd like to see if the board's okay with us finding the money and, having that done. I think in the future, we need to prioritize. I would have rather done that section than, say, a side street, because it would have benefited the whole town versus a few residents. But that said, we can't undo that. Kylie and I looked at the highway budget. We think we can squeeze probably most of it out of the highway budget. But, I mean, if we don't have quite enough to cover it, I mean, can we authorize Kylie to, work her magic and find somewhere else in the budget?
I'd make a motion to that.
Do you have any, I mean, that's why you have this, I think, was, I asked if
I
we
mean,
wanted to
I've
have.
studied the budget, I haven't studied the piece for the paving other than what we talked about the other day, but I think we're in good shape. What I wanted to do was just set aside our project money, make sure that was on skew, and then see if there was any funds in there too.
Yeah, I mean, I think within the highway budget, there's a couple line items that we can tap into to get, and if we happen to sell the, town truck for, that's out for bid, that would be available.
There you go, that would be half of it, we didn't
Yeah.
discuss that.
And I think we can get the other, if that goes, we can definitely get the other half out of the highway budget. So if the board's fine with that,
Yes.
we'll move forward with exploring and having them come for it, knowing we can, or plan for it.
I do have one thing, and that was the highway truck, so I had her rework the
Yeah.
agreement with the $35,000 trade-in, and so if the board is fine with, looking at this, that would make the payment $91,183 for 3 years instead of 4 with the financing, if
Okay.
everyone's okay with that, that's for the new town truck.
Oh, and you also have the 3 bids for the pickups?
2.
Okay, I thought he said he gave you everything. He made it sound,
New Car and Champlain,
Alright.
Chevy.
are we fine with
They're
going? Fine with going?
relatively the same, I think, more local was gonna give us a little more for a trade-in.
Okay, so,
That's
And
for
so with
repairs
that
and
would
stuff
give
in
us,
local.
alright, so let's do this one item first, I guess.
Are we on paving?
No,
So, we budgeted 100, is this still, would we still be able to do the 3-year and get the pickup?
so my, yes, we budgeted 100, and so that, we were gonna do a 4-year agreement without the trade-in. Okay, with the trade-in, a 3-year agreement puts us at 91. If you gave a down payment on a truck, and we were able to work it in next year, it should work out just fine.
So we'd still be able
I think we'd still be able to do it, yeah.
to, yeah, I'm okay with the 3-year at that number.
Mhm.
so you need us to sign it, or just me?
Just, yeah, just you.
Is everybody fine with that?
I'm good with it.
Alrighty.
And while you're signing, I have something under the highway for paving. So North Branch Road, we got the paving grant for that. So I put together the spreadsheet and the costs for all that with the information Jason gave me for materials and stuff. And I have a request for reimbursement to submit to V-Trans. We were awarded $175,164.
That's to the Richford line from,
That's from, starting on North Branch Road, all the way to Berkshire line.
Yes.
So I have all the supporting document to go with it if you wanna pass it around, and I just need the board to sign so I can submit. And it just says that we followed the grant requirements and everything was done according.
Oh, yes.
So so do you have those two quotes, kind of?
Yeah, I think with the trade-in, it was like 43, and one was 44. I printed them out and they're not with my stuff, although,
Well, Kylie's doing that, and I just wanted to mention something under highway.
Okay.
I don't know what you're seeing with that speed bump on North Avenue, but when it first was put in, it didn't seem to make any difference at all. They just went on other streets. But after, I don't know, 3 weeks, a month, it's really been quiet up there. A lot, or quieter than it's been.
You mean
I don't
the
know.
whole neighborhood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hear any.
I don't know if it's because of the speed bump, but if it is, maybe they really work. Maybe it's something we'd wanna consider in other places, because
Well,
it's really been, I've noticed it, a lot less traffic and not as much speeding.
now that you mention that, I did notice last week that Enosburg put another one. They put it on the road that goes down to the cheese plant, so that means they've got at least 4 or 5 out now.
Yeah,
And so must be they're finding them beneficial. So maybe we work in a few more and start,
Given the cost, it's a lot more cost effective than having people try to,
yeah. Well, and I mean, and it can be in addition. I guess in theory, we still have money from our sheriff contract we could burn up and buy some, even though they wouldn't go out till next year at this point, because it doesn't really make sense to put them out for 6 weeks, 8 weeks.
but maybe we could use some of that money to buy a couple more.
That's what I mean.
Next year,
Yeah, but or buy them this year and then just have them ready to
Yeah.
roll next year.
Yeah.
So,
But that brings up the question, which is more cost effective with the labor and everything? Having a speed table which stays there year round and you can plow over the top of, or doing the speed bumps? And I do support having the speed bumps or something, especially if they seem to be working. But,
I can ask Jason to research the speed tables. Or is that what you
Yeah.
call them?
yeah,
I'm guessing those are gonna be a lot more expensive, at least up front,
yeah.
but I don't know how they would play out over the long run.
Right.
There is some cost associated to the speed bumps, cause
Mhm.
you have to, every year, because you gotta lay them out, take them out. But I don't think that's a hard project to do.
And then you gotta think about when he paves the
So,
roads.
I'll ask him, but,
Those speed tables.
I think there's a lot of costs associated with creating those tables, cause,
That might be something in the future, and for
Yeah.
the stopgap
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
now,
I'll-
do like
I'll-
you say, get those speed bumps,
yeah.
have them ready to go first thing in the spring.
I'll ask him to call, I know like Jericho, Essex, they have a whole mess of them. So maybe he could call around and get an estimate of what each one costs.
right now my Stewart's would be a good place for one.
They
Why don't
even
they
seem
get
to
the
be
ones where they're
effective
off?
on the four-wheelers. I used to see a lot of four-wheelers going down North Avenue with the speed bump. I'm not even seeing them now.
I think it's because it was always a way to cut the village streets off. They would come down north, go, and then head out to Berkshire or whatever. That's not happening now because they don't like the speed bump. But I noticed we don't go to get as much of that in the winter because of the slippery condition of the road. So I don't think, I don't recall having that problem in the wintertime.
With the four-wheelers and
Because of
stuff.
driving,
Yeah.
yeah.
For the
because of
summertime
driving
one.
condition, yeah. You agree with that, Alan?
Yeah.
If you think back,
Where
it's a
Jason-
summertime thing.
Where Jason put the speed bump, they can't go around it.
Mhm.
Because he
Right.
put it between there's a tree on one side, telephone pole on the other. So they avoided it, so.
I noticed the one they just put up in Enosburg, they have a sign, speed bump, like,
Well, and
in
that's
the
not,
grass.
Yeah.
and that's not a little one.
No,
And that's not a little speed bump.
Yeah.
If you didn't slow down, you might hurt your car.
The one on North Avenue is that's a lot more severe than
Yeah.
Mhm.
the ones on Orchard Street in Enosburg.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, I go out of my way to avoid streets that have speed bumps, and I'm sure everybody else does too, if they like their front end.
Yeah.
So I'm not able to, he got 2 quotes, 2 from Champlain Chevy and one from New Car. For whatever reason, I can't print out the New Car, but I know that the trade-in value was better with Champlain Chevy. They're gonna give us $6,200 for our 2014. And the overall price of the truck was $49,900.
Minus the 6,000.
Minus the 6,000, so total due would be $43,200. And I know New Car was just slightly higher, so, and it's the same, pretty much the same pickup, so,
So are we okay with selecting, was it based on 2, or does the board want a third?
I'm okay with going with the
Yeah.
2 and going with the local.
Yep, I am too.
I am too, I mean.
it's nicer if, they need maintenance.
Well, I mean-
Exactly, it's close by for recalls, anything that comes
Yeah,
up.
I mean, cuts the labor cost of down by half,
Nope, I agree.
so move forward with that, Kylie. Alright. We need a motion for that? Yeah, let's I'll make a motion to go with the 2,500 regular cab Chevy pickup through Champlain Chevrolet for $43,200.
Yep, I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We did list the dump truck. I thought, I gotta touch up, did Jason bring any of the other 2 pieces of equipment to
He
you?
did not, no. He
Alright, so-
just brought me the plow truck.
Alright, so we have the one truck that's inoperable, in order to fix, it needs like 20, or I think he said like $3,500 worth of work, and it's the oldest truck by far. And then I think there's an old stainless steel sander that used to go on the truck that doesn't currently run. So he was gonna we were gonna list those as well, put them out to bid. So I'll have him follow up with you, to get you that too, so we can. That's all I have for highway. Buildings?
Richie's still working on the building, he's over here on this side. He said, I'm thinking, he says sometime next week, he should have that done, and he can put the seal on. The library's being worked on. Their roof over there should be getting started over where it's been leaking in the next week or 2. And then from there, they're going to the fire station to start that roof. Once that roof's done, then we can look at the inside damage that the leaking roof caused, go through an insurance claim
At the library?
at the fire
Oh, the
department.
fire, okay. And what was the cause of that, like, it was faulty put in, or like the engineer?
That's what they said, that's what the engineer said from the state, but at the same time, it still lasted 25 years, so it's lived its life anyway. They said wood screws were put on, the metal to metal, and the metal screws were put on the metal to wood, but it still lasted 25 years. I mean, it still lived its life.
That's what I heard too, that they used the wrong screws.
Yes, on the wrong sides, but at the same time, and it's not anything we can put through insurance, we already asked about that.
Yeah.
But any damage caused by that, we can put through the insurance.
So after the last meeting, I did go over to the library, and
Yeah.
when they put that addition on, I don't think it was whatever, let's call it the kids center.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it was that roof, but when they put the addition on with the stairs to the upstairs, they created that funky crevice. There's like it's an engineering disaster, and I can understand why the roof leaks. It would be better off if they just took the roof
Capped it.
off the play center and just ran stringers up to the upper roof and took out that like wedge roof that got left when they put that thing
Yep.
in. I mean, I think that would.
I believe that's what Bobby's gonna do.
Okay.
That's what him and I talked about. I said, because this can't happen again, it's gonna be
Yeah, no, that was
That's a really bad design right there.
Well, I don't know if it was just the continuous add-ons created that nightmare wedge or what, but
And then,
somebody should have seen that long ago, cause
Right.
it was just asking for it.
but they also put rubber in,
Yeah.
in that crevice versus metal for flashing, they put rubber. So then with the ice falling off the taller roof coming down through, it's just etching into it. And that's
Yeah,
causing slices in the rubber, which then,
yeah. No, I think that if he does that, bridge that gap.
yep,
I mean, it might create a dead space in there, but,
that's okay.
I mean,
We'll close it in, they can close it in,
yeah,
not gonna hurt anything.
alright.
They'll get rid of a big problem and it won't return. And that's all I have.
What about the post office doors?
Oh, yes, sorry. We just gave a check to her, they ordered the doors, they're 5 to 6 weeks out. So, they'll be in before fall, late fall, so. And then the pillars, Beth O'Brien told me she knows somebody who did the pillars at the school, and she's recommended them to come here. But I really believe those pillars are completely hollow all the way down to the cement. I believe the support goes from the roof to the cement, but I will find out tomorrow. I'll take a closer look. But yeah, that's all I have now.
Water and sewer?
The only thing I got is the plug is in at Blue Seal. Jeremy showed me a picture, it's an expandable plug. One that if they have to take it out to drain water, they can, but the picture he showed me, it was installed and it was there and so hopefully we won't ever have that issue again. That's all I had.
I don't have anything. I just saw talk about Dunlap. They haven't gone any further on.
I emailed the attorney and, I'm gonna follow up because I didn't get a response for that email as well. I'm working with Hoyle and Tanner to set up accounts with USDA Rural Development so they can submit grants on our behalf for the sewer plant. And the paperwork for the golf course road is still moving forward. At this point, it's gonna be out to bid probably by January 1st of the year type of thing, so.
Parks, playground, cemeteries?
I got nothing.
Alrighty.
I got something, so I contacted D&D to replace the conduit, I haven't heard back, but I did contact them for the electrical, so we can get the cameras hooked up in the park,
In the
in
Main
Main
Street.
Street Park, yes.
We had talked to him originally this spring, and he said he would fit us in, we hadn't heard from him, so Marissa reached back out.
Okay.
So is that the only cameras that we are waiting to get up and running?
That are put up, yes.
I forgot to mention, the AC at the post office went down. I don't even know how old that AC unit is very rusted. I'm thinking they've repaired it before, quite a few years ago, but 2013.
13, I think it
Well,
was.
yeah.
12 or 13, I think
Yeah.
was on the
And this is
invoice.
in the post office section?
This is in the post
It's
office section.
outside, yeah.
Yeah, next to the doors in that cage. Pretty much I'm thinking it's the original looking of heat pumps for the AC. So we're gonna look for some quotes and possibly, and see what we can come up with for some type of heat pump for over there, but it's getting late in the summer, so I'm thinking spring. We're gonna get it set up for them, for next year's
Try to
budget,
pick
or
one
whatever.
apart, yeah, get it done.
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure I mentioned that, so they know we're talking about it.
Other business? Yes, ma'am.
I kind of inherited a folder that said 15 Willow Street on it. So I went down there and took some pictures, and there's a car that's up on jack stands. It's the property that's on the end of Ben Pothier's.
Yes.
And from what I understand, there was something legal that you guys looked into to, because that's town property. So I'm just wondering what I should do with it. Like, where's
That's
it
on
at?
Willow Street?
Yeah,
Is
it's,
that
it's,
On the left side?
yeah, when you
So
go
we
down,
I'm pretty sure we sent letters that
yeah,
I spoke to the attorney about
yeah,
having to remove that, or they were gonna be I can't remember if it was
So who
fine.
did the letters go to?
The landlord and the,
Yeah, it went to, I believe one went to Ben Pothier and one went to,
The tenant?
no, it went to two different properties, cause there was some
Okay.
stuff from another
But-
property
So
owner as
what-
well.
and I,
So I should see you about what to do next?
Yeah,
come see me
Okay.
well,
tomorrow.
and last year when we were pushing this, there wasn't cars there, it was
Junk.
riding lawnmowers, it was all that, and all of that stuff got put in the backyard of this house. So,
Pothier's house?
yeah, if you look in the back, all the stuff that used to be here, what got put in the backyard, so I don't know if you wanna explore that as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I think we were all set, like, once we sent those,
Sent the letter, they cleaned
they cleaned it up. But we also had the authority, once, if they did not, to,
Go on the
To go on and clean it ourselves.
yes, cause it is town property.
Yeah.
All right, well then that car up on Jack Stands is new, we'll have to find out.
Well, like I said, at the end of last summer, when we pushed the issue, they moved everything and all the like riding lawnmowers and anything just got basically looked like it got moved onto the landlord's property, which probably created a zoning issue, but it got it off town property.
Okay. All right, there, yeah, I see the pictures. Motorcycles and,
Yeah.
So the other side, which you have a lease with the person, have you talked to zoning to make sure that that's still in compliance? Because that's part of your agreement.
Yeah.
Is that he stays in compliance with zoning, and he's been reasonable
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
working on it.
So I
And
rode by the other day, just looking down the street, and it didn't look bad down there.
you know, and I don't know what the agreement is, like what areas he can use and what he can't. Because I went down there one time and I went toward the back to turn around, that looked like it was empty and the son's truck was back there.
Yeah,
So,
it's basically I don't know, he doesn't have much beyond his house before it becomes town property there. And he had it relatively cleaned up last year, so I mean, but yeah, feel free to go to check and we can revisit it.
maybe I
Like,
can
it's not an area I go very often, so I mean, I can drive down and take a peek too at some point, but if you wanna take some,
Well, I don't know what it's supposed to look like,
Well- well, it's supposed to be
Neat and orderly.
neat and orderly, like complying with any other house, like, since he's essentially using town property, it should be up to the code, what we would expect any homeowner to have.
Okay, so what do we call what he's doing on town property? What are we calling that?
I think he's just using in town
I
property.
think he's storing, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's storing it neatly as opposed to
yeah,
And if there is junk, it's not held there, it's pick it up and go.
yeah,
It's hauled
pretty,
off.
yeah. So yeah, if you just take a look at it, see what your assessment
Cause it's,
is.
like, I went down one time and there was a rack with a bunch of tires on it, and the next time I went, the rack was empty, so I think it's.
Yeah, well, that's his business.
Yeah.
He's a scrap metal guy, so, yeah.
Okay.
Any,
Yeah, I put my 2 cents in on.
I know I come in at the end of the meeting last time, but it was brought up about open meeting law, you asked me to look
for
into it.
training, yes.
For training, the state, we have to do the training through the state, and they have not put out any trainings until, they won't put out any trainings until this winter. So I'll just keep an eye out, and it's for the chair of the boards that need to, and town managers, and it's just certain people. But probably everybody should take it just to be
Sounds like a good
up
time.
to date.
Yeah.
I'll let everybody know when that comes up.
Okay.
I do have one more thing, I have something under other business, the fence for, the house up here. Where does it say in any rules that the person has to have it painted the same color as their house? Cause I know I didn't with my house and my fence, and I got permits.
It was something that was agreed upon and was in the facts and findings, and they did not appeal the decision from the DRB. They sat there, we talked about it, and they said, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but facts and findings,
That's the ruling that the Development Review Board does when they go and have a hearing on something.
right, but how can the DRB just say, okay, you need to paint your fence the color of your house, when no one else in town has?
This is why we all need to.
And there's no
get
ordinances or
together with the
bylaws that say that you have to.
If you don't agree, again, we're going back to if you don't agree with what the Development Review Board says, you appeal it to Environmental Court.
Well, why would they have to? Why would they be made to do that when it's not a bylaw or an ordinance in town? Why would they be made to have to go fight it someplace else?
We did the hearing, we came to the agreement, we put out the facts and findings. If you do not like them, then that's your recourse within 30 days of our decision. And there was nothing, we heard nothing from them.
Who's we?
The board or the zoning administrator at the time, and Karen, yeah, the form.
So you can actually mandate what color, if I wanna paint my house pink?
We can put conditions on there, yes.
Well, it just seems a little radical to do something like that.
Yeah, because I don't think that's written anywhere on any paper.
Or
that
you
that's
would maybe
anything.
deter someone from appealing because they wouldn't want to appeal to environmental. over
Yeah, why would they
something.
wanna
Yeah.
have to go to court and a hearing and set that all up? When
But
we
when
don't
they're,
have the
they're
right.
there at the hearing and you say, we discussed it at the hearing, and they said, yeah, that's fine. We agree with you, that
Is it-
would look best.
Is it on paper? Is it been written down where it's,
We'd have to go back and pull the facts and findings from like a year and a half, 2 years ago.
cause it
Are
does,
those attached in your minutes?
Because first of all, that fence was put up, it was higher than 6 feet, which is in the bylaws.
Wasn't
And
the
so-
original one
and-
that was there a long time ago when Matt owned it? Wasn't there a
Well,
fence there?
you know, but then if there's one there and it's higher and then it goes away, you can't go and 3, 4 years down the road, put in the fence and say it's grandfathered. No, you can't do, you've lost the grandfather after a year.
I have to reapply and I wouldn't approve it.
Yeah, and it was not,
Like John did.
and the thing was, is they put the fence in without a permit.
Okay,
So then that's where they wound up with, they were in violation and they appealed the violation to the DRB.
yeah, see, I personally do not think the DRB should have any right to tell somebody what color they're gonna paint anything. I don't think that's written in any books anywhere, ordinances, bylaws, or anything. Fences and where they go and the permits, I agree 100%, people need to follow the rules on that. But you can't say, okay, I painted mine, all I did was clear coat mine, the guy up the road did his white and his house is black. Somebody can put black and red trim
We said
together.
that it would complement, and like I said, I'm going back to, they were there at the hearing and it was discussed and they agreed to it.
Yeah, but why would you guys even come up with that when nobody else in town does it?
Well, why, what if they sold the property?
Yeah,
Do they
that-
still have to adhere to that?
I guess the underlying question is,
Follows the property, the permit.
the underlying question
What
I
give
guess
them the
for
right
me
to even
is-
say?
is the, what you, even though they agreed to it, was there even grounds to make that
Request.
request
Yeah.
in our ordinances, in our bylaws? What, I mean,
We don't deal with ordinances, we only deal with the bylaws, but we do have, we
There-
can put conditions on what we feel is right.
why would you put a condition though that the paint has to match the house? Why?
I don't know if it was exactly the paint had to match it, but just so it, because technically where that fence is on the side and it's higher than what it's supposed to, and that's in a violation, we
Yeah,
said
we
we
get
let
that.
that
We
go.
understand this part, but it's the color.
It's the color.
We were,
yeah.
I think,
Telling somebody what
You
color
know,
they can
this
paint
was-
their own fence, I don't
this was
think.
like 2 years ago. The thing was that they were looking that if you did it the same color, it would look like it was a part of the house and it would stick out like a sore
Karen, what
thumb.
do you understand what was supposed to take place? Was it just supposed to be stained or was it supposed to match colors on your?
No, it was supposed to match.
Okay.
And I talked to Robert about it, he knew that and he painted it, he stained it a darker color. And I said, well, John was here and we said, come on, let's take a look at it. It was a darker color and I noticed that, yeah, it was a darker color, but it matched the railroad tie retaining wall the neighbor had, so it kind of looked kind of good. So I came back, I said to John, I said, you know what? And Rowena might not like this, but we have bigger fish to fry in this town than what color somebody's fence is. So I approved it because he stained it and it matched the house, it's a darker brown. So when I called him and told him he was good to go, he said, well, I did it because I knew it would fade. He's right, I mean, that dark fence probably in 2 years is gonna be a light brown.
You know, I
You
mean,
know,
To me,
logical
I'm back to the
decision,
beginning.
I'm sorry, but
I,
I think what your decision was a logical decision.
mhm.
As far as color, as long as it's well maintained, I
It
don't
don't
care.
matter
and
what
another
color.
reason why it needed it is our bylaws say that fence can't be over 4 feet high, and it also
Yeah.
says only the back fence could be solid. And
Right.
this was like this big, huge 12-foot fence, solid fence, that they didn't get a permit for. So I can understand why it did the process and why you said, because it's so conspicuous, it should blend in.
And
But it
again,
will in a couple of years, is the way I
Right.
look at it.
and again, it was not my decision, it was what the board
Yeah.
asked for.
When I
So,
Understand.
so basically, if you don't like what the DRB is, we do have positions available. We'd love to have you sit on the DRB and you can bring your ideas, because you've got great ideas.
I got enough hats, thank you.
Yeah.
Alan, you wanted to say something?
But, you know, I can understand enforcing the height of the fence
Yeah.
because it's in the bylaws, but if there's nothing in the bylaws that mandates what color something has to be.
We don't have the right to tell them.
Right. It
That's
just
as
seems
simple
like
as
an
that.
arbitrary.
I don't care who you are.
This is what the board decided, and
They
again,
don't have the right.
they
to
could have
decide.
said something different.
They don't have
If
the
you
right to
don't,
decide.
if you really feel that the DRB is not doing their job and they're nitpicking things, like I said, we have positions open, you're more than welcome to be on the board and bring some new ideas to the
No,
board.
I just think that, like, we're being held to a standard and we're supposed to be learning and following through and doing things exactly like we're supposed to be, which we're learning as we go along. And same thing with zoning, and same thing with planning, same thing with all the different committees. But DRB still has to follow the same rules as the rest of us.
And we have been.
Right, but to say, tell somebody, because the group decided, to be like us deciding, okay, so now we're deciding the pink lady can't be pink anymore because we don't like it, they need to color it. Do we have the right to do that? No, we don't.
Even if you don't like it.
Even though I don't like it, I don't have the right to do that.
And I'm not beating you up.
And it's not
Lee.
because
I
of-
understand
yeah.
it was the board's decision, but I
Right.
don't understand how a board can
Make that decision.
mandate something that's not in the bylaws.
That was
I
my,
We can
my
put,
thought.
conditions, we can put what we feel are reasonable conditions, and we did speak with the property owners, and that was what was agreed. Did we have it on tape? No, we did not have it on tape at that time, we were not taping them. And so, but.
So what are the repercussions of all of this? Nothing?
Well, it sounds like,
He stained his fence and they're gonna leave.
and there's gonna
keep
stay,
it
and it's
that
gonna
way.
stay.
Yeah.
But in the future, yeah, I guess,
In the future, they should be dictating who can color what
Yeah.
color.
How do you change something like that at this point that you can't?
well, it's not, I mean, it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like it was in the bylaws, so,
Right, so.
I mean, I get that it was a nice to have, but I think nice to haves can't exist unless they're supported by.
And I also
The
look at it
bylaws.
this way, when Robert first called, and it was way after the decision and everything, he didn't wanna paint it. He said, hemlock is gonna fade to gray, why do I even have to paint this? And it's gonna last for 30 years.
Yep, it's true.
And I said, because the decision was that you were gonna do this, and he hemmed and hawed, he cursed, and not at me, but he,
Yep,
the F-bomb, I'm old school, I go, look, if you're gonna keep swearing like that, I'm gonna hang up, and the next word out of his mouth was, so I hung up, and I let him cool off for a while, and then he called me, and I said, yeah, and then he just did it, I think he realized that.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, he took it upon himself, and he did it, and they cut the top, the request was that the top was even too, and, I mean, he's happy, and we're happy. and
Right, as long as everybody's happy, I was just, my concern was that
Yeah.
dictating color,
next
when
time.
we have nothing in our bylaws supporting that we can dictate colors. I don't care if we can come up with conditions or not, but it'd be like the select board, like I said, telling the pink lady she has to be yellow because we don't like pink anymore. We can't do that, that's not anything in any rule book that we can do. So I think that needs to be something that we don't do a conclusion on in future of anything.
Well, I'll research it with regional, and they're the ones that look at this stuff, and
But if it's not in our bylaws, we can't enforce it if it's not in our bylaws. Has to be in our bylaws, because that's what you guys live off from,
Yeah,
is the
but the
bylaws.
DRB doesn't go by the bylaws. The DRB is when people want stuff outside of the bylaws.
Right,
we have the right to put what we feel are reasonable conditions. And even if you feel this strongly about it and you don't wanna be a part of the board member, we have open public meetings and hearings on this. Show up to them, give us your opinion. We'd love to see the public there and get your opinion. You could have sat there and said, look, I don't think you have any right to do this. You could have said that at the, had you attended. And I know everybody has a lot of things on their plate, but to just come now, a year and a half, 2 years
Well,
later.
no, because it was just mentioned to me, and I'm like, well, that's not quite right.
Yeah.
No one told me what color I had to paint my fence. I put one in here in Richford. No one told me what color I could paint my house. No one told the guy down the road that he had to paint his white. He has what he wanted, and I wanted clear coat. So if we don't have the right to tell people what they can do, then I don't think the DRB should tell somebody either if it's not supported, even if it's in a conditional use or anything they're trying to ask for. If we can't tell the neighbor that what color they're painting it, then you can't tell this person they have to paint it.
Well, this is kind of, the situation's done.
Yeah.
We made our
Right,
decision
it's
back
done,
then.
right.
Yeah, so,
And
But just in the future, maybe, just because it's not gonna be right, and someone's gonna step up and say, hey, wait a minute. Okay.
anything else, around the room here? Robert, do you have anything?
Yes, I do, thank you.
That scared me. I forgot he was.
First of all, this is for Alan. How many times have you made your preference at a fire or ambulance meeting or drill practice?
I don't have any schedule, and if there's no reason for me to go, I don't.
Okay, thank
If
you.
I had a reason to attend the meetings, I would
No,
certainly
you
go.
answered it, let's move on. You spent enough time on other things. This one's for Christian. With the Oktoberfest coming up, is there gonna be any handicap parking at the Davis Park?
Kristen, there's no way for me to answer that. Like, we don't have, like, there's no handicap parking down there.
Kristen isn't on the rec committee, and so she doesn't have anything to do with the Harvest Festival. We do our best to section off a couple of spots, which were done last year, and we will try our best to do it again this year.
Okay, thank you. And let's see, Andy,
Yeah,
is the aerial platform truck back in service?
yeah, it has been for a couple weeks.
It's fully operational?
Yep.
You've tested it?
We used it last night.
Okay.
I can attest to that, it was in the grocery store parking lot.
Yep.
Fully extended.
Okay, that's good. Okay, and how long have we had the truck, the aerial platform?
Must be close to 2 years now.
How many times has it been certified?
Certification runs out at the end of this year.
So it was certified last year.
No, we have certification papers that is good to the end of 2025,
Where was those from?
when we originally bought it.
I think you better read the NFPA in 1910. That's all I have, thank you.
Alrighty, well, Mr. Weatherby did remind me of one other item that, fall trash day, do we wanna plan a date?
Oh, yeah, that's usually in
Yeah, I was gonna
October.
ask you that,
Yeah, October,
so I can mail it out with the bills. that
yes,
day.
are you doing one soon?
Yeah, so it'll be, I think, September 21st that week, I'll be mailing them out.
So, I,
Usually we plan it for the beginning of October, so we'll have to, I'll, look at the calendar and try to come up with a,
Are you sure you did the beginning?
I think it
I don't
was
wanna
You
go
gotta
the
give me time
6th.
enough to mail those out and then.
Yeah, and maybe it was towards the end then,
Well,
was it the middle?
Or the
yeah,
middle.
It might be the middle.
let's do the middle and,
The middle of October.
let's, just, I mean, I can make, I'm pretty sure I can make myself available. But, yeah, so just pick a day and shoot us a message and
Okay.
we'll just get that underway.
Okay.
Alrighty, if not, I think the rest is personnel.
Yes.
Do you anticipate any decisions coming out? Potentially, right?
Potentially.
Alright. Sorry, Jerry, it's potentially. Alright, I'll entertain a motion to go to executive for personnel.
Make a motion.